Hi everyone, this reading is for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign. This is the May 2020 Leo reading. I'm using the Cosmic Tarot. This is going to be a 5-card reading. We'll clarify as needed, and then I'll pull a couple oracle cards at the end. What are the messages for my Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? I'm seeing the Hierophant, which came up in a reading I did, well, I guess at this point, yesterday, for the full moon that we just had in Scorpio, and that energy carries us through to the next full moon. It's a super full moon, so lots of significant energy coming in. Scorpio energy, as we know, is related to the death energy, right? Either, literal death obviously is going on very much so on a collective level, especially for those of us based here in America nationally, but more so on a metaphorical level and coming into really profound realizations and undergoing transformations, deeply personal as well as spiritual transformations, okay? And I'm seeing the Queen of Wands, which is your energy here, Leos, fire energy, really harnessing your power, really being in your highest vibration in terms of your elements. I'm going to cut the cards there. And let's see what cards we have coming up for you. The Fool, which is Aries energy. And I don't know, I'm actually somehow, I do the readings based off of the views the last period of time. So Leo's your first of the fire signs, but then literally immediately following you is Sagittarius and then Aries. So the other two fire signs in the zodiac, you guys are all in one big group here. Okay, so you have the Aries energy, your fire sign cousin, coming up at the forefront, really taking a risk. Whenever I see this card, I'm reminded of that phrase, there is no risk without reward, right? Taking a risk, perhaps starting something new. The Fool also really implies it's a start of the journey, right? Of the Fool's journey, of the spiritual journey, traveling light, okay? Again, really more so in a metaphorical kind of sense in terms of what baggage you are bringing with you, right? And versus that which you are learning to let go or leave in the past, okay? Let's see what other cards you have coming up here. Queen of Swords, air energy, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It's a very discerning kind of energy, right? Sometimes Queen of Swords is the quote unquote bitch card, but she really just knows what she wants. She's very decisive. I do feel and this has come up in the other readings as well. Who have I done so far? Capricorn and Libra, okay, which is an air energy. But I do feel this energy very much so of cutting out excess, cutting out things, people, places, and things that no longer serve us here, right? And I love this card. This actually did come up in the Libra reading, I believe, if not the Capricorn reading. But she sees things going on here in the background, right? It's almost really paying attention to your internally knowing sense, right? Even if there aren't things that you're seeing sort of happening before you, knowing what it is that you need to decide upon or perhaps even get rid of, okay? With that Queen of Swords energy. In your past energy is the Six of Wands, okay? So Six of Wands energy, this is a victorious energy in the upright. You do have it here reversed. It could actually be you here, Leos, because there is that lion here on the card, okay? And it is fire energy. But I do feel this could have just been, how you were sort of, and this could have been something that has spanned over the past several weeks, obviously with what's going on right now, definitely has an impact sometimes on terms of our mood or the levels of our spirit, right? Just the overall vibration out of which that we're operating. And I also feel there may have been a situation here, okay? Perhaps with another person, perhaps with another fire sign even, or related to work, okay, that may have experiences some challenges or some ups and downs. Again, could be something or someone that you're working to let go of here with that Queen of Swords. This may be one of the cards that I clarify since it's just coming up here in the reverse. But Six of Wands in the reverse just implies because Six of Wands has a very victorious or triumphant energy. And so in the reverse, it has, sort of an opposite connotation to that, at least to me. Okay, but again, it's a very past energy. You have the Three of Cups here, okay? It could be related to a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Again, I am picking up that this is a situation related to an interpersonal relationship, whether that be a romantic relationship, family or friend group. Okay, I do feel like there may have been other people or just sort of other elements involved along that sort of third party energy. Okay, I don't really usually talk about that in my readings or even really like to, either client ones or collective ones, but that is the energy that I'm picking up on, and it is also energy that I touched upon in the Libra reading, which again I filmed earlier. Okay, and your crowning card is the High Priestess. Yeah. Knowing, like having an internal knowing here. To me, it's very much related to this Queen of Swords, okay? And perhaps seeing something, again, something sort of in the background, perhaps something someone is trying to hide or keep from you, or again, may not be so overt, but you sort of know, right? It's almost like women's intuition, like you have sort of a nagging or an inkling that is telling you about something or about someone, and therefore the action that you need to take, okay? Let's see. Yeah, Seven of Swords. Okay, so more Aquarian energy, and again, could be talking about just sort of illusory or illusionary kind of energy, okay? I'm not saying that this is intentional or malicious by any means on anyone's part. It just sort of feels like an energy that's lingering. But again, Leos, I'm really seeing you seeing through that, okay, and cutting through that, really dodging these swords here. And it's interesting, you have the full moon energy here, and again I mentioned that we had a full moon in Scorpio, so it's almost like this full moon energy is bringing this kind of illumination so that you can move forward. And I'm seeing this return to your strength, right? That sun energy, that Leo, the lion sort of motif energy, and with all this yellow here, both on this card and here with the Queen of Swords, I'm seeing really tapping into your creativity as well. And I do feel like that may be related to your work. And I feel like in terms of the past, you know, whatever it was that was going on, I feel like that was a distraction or a detraction from your work, and specifically tapping into your creativity. Again, whether you have a creative job or profession specifically, or whether it's just, you know, employing your creativity for your own personal uses, but then that has an effect on your energy and your spirit and how you therefore show up in your work and in your relationships, okay? So like I said, it's in the past, but let's just see anyway what that Six of Wands in the reverse could be about. Again, could be situational, could be about a person, could be about yourself and your own energy levels, because again, that is air energy. That flew out fast, and I think it is you, Leos, okay? With the Queen of Wands here. I feel like you may have been in a situation or a position where perhaps you felt like you needed to defend yourself, or I'm just feeling sort of like a defensive kind of energy. But it's almost like you're transitioning that, like instead of being defensive or overly guarded, you're just being very decisive and clear and concise with your boundaries and communicating that clearly and taking action accordingly. Very cool. This is going to be a short reading. Okay, what oracle card shall I get for you, Leos? I'm going to do messages. I think I'm going to do the same two decks that I used in the Libra reading, actually. Just feeling called towards those. So the first one is messages from your animal spirit guides. We'll get one card from each and then close down the reading. What are the messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Leos. What are the messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Too many. What are the messages for Leo, Sun, Moon? Try that once more. What are the messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Okay. Honeybee. Let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. Since we have so much time, I'm going to read for these cards for you. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but we have time here, so let's do it. Honeybee. Again, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. To reap all the sweetness that life has to offer, focus on compassion and forgiveness. Compassion means that you have heartfelt empathy for the suffering and misfortune of others, yet remain somewhat detached so that you don't take on their sorrow and distress as your own. Forgiveness requires that you first acknowledge and accept responsibility for your judgments rather than pretending they don't exist or professing to always sustain a non-judgmental attitude. The next step is to release those judgments. Just as I'm reading this, it's reminding me, and I say this in almost every single reading, but literally of meditation, of the process of meditation, okay? So it says to do so, think of someone past or present with whom you have judgments or criticisms. Trust that the first person that comes to mind is the appropriate one to start with. Consider 2 or 3 specific criticisms that you have about this individual, preferably captured with one word such as selfish or cold. Find a quiet place, go inside yourself and look for that part of you that's exactly like what you are judging in the other person. Oh, this is powerful because this is talking about, right, how we can sometimes mirror and project onto each other in relationships, again, be it romantically or otherwise, right? Relationships come in all forms. So it says, it may be a very prominent part of yourself or a rather small aspect. You may identify it by recalling times when you've behaved in ways that resemble what you are criticizing. Once you discover that part of you, simply say to it, I love you and forgive you. If necessary, repeat this 2 or 3 times and notice any emotions that come up. In the coming days, be aware of any feelings that arise that may be associated with this experience. Practice this at least once daily for the next few days and watch what happens. You may even want to journal about it, right? Other associations with this card include productivity, community, cooperation, sweetness, love, compassion, forgiveness, rhythm, which reminds me of music for some reason, awakening, nature, poetry, mother goddess, royalty, and nutrition. Lovely. Honeybee. And we're also going to get a card from the Goddess Guidance Oracle. So one more card again, I'll read from the guidance and then we'll close out the reading. So I'm seeing Matt, which is fairness. Okay, you definitely could be dealing with a Libra just because there are so many overlaps with that reading, and that Matt card for me does represent the Justice, which is Libra. Okay, and again, you do have air energy coming in here in the reading with that Queen of Swords. So what are the Goddess Guidance messages for Libra Spirit? What are the Goddess Guidance messages for, or not Libra, my bad, for Leo? Brigitte, don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right. And what's interesting is that it fell on top of that 6 of Wands reversed and the Queen of Wands. Okay, perhaps you felt like you didn't win something or you weren't able to sort of stand your ground in the past, but I feel like that's changing. Okay, and I'm feeling like, again, with that Queen of Wands and the 6 of Wands, like I was saying earlier, with the 7 of Wands, it feels like a sort of defensive or needing to defend yourself, needing to stand your ground kind of energy. And now you're getting Brigitte, don't back down. So again, I'm going to read from the book and then close out the reading. Okay, Brigitte, don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right. First, be quite clear about your intentions. If you are unclear, then confusion will lessen your power and force. Like a candle in the dark, be very clear and bright in what is acceptable to you in the situation. Make no mistake, I will guide and protect you. And yet, think of the unparalleled rise in your own viewpoint if you are to stand up for yourself and speak up about your needs and your deepest truth. Now is the time to touch your power, for its heat and flame will ignite your passion, which will propel you forward in countless ways. And all that fire imagery, again, obviously speaking to your element, Leo. Okay, so what does it say? Which will propel you forward in countless ways. Even in the face of fear, you can still stand up for your ideals and your truth, okay? And that sword there that the Queen and the King of Swords wield, to me, is the Ace of Swords, okay? Which is following your truth, the sword of truth. It says, be unwavering and make your stand today. Various other meanings of this card include being assertive, not worrying about what others think, trust that your actions will work out fine, speak your truth, okay, again with that Queen of Swords card, and that is in your upcoming energy, stick to your opinion and put your foot down. It says about the goddess Brigitte. Brigitte is a Celtic triple goddess, which means that she represents 3 aspects of woman: the young virgin, the nurturing and loving mother, and the sage, wise woman. Brigitte is a fiery goddess. Ooh, lots of fire imagery. I love this coming up for you, Leos, especially as we go into, right? Eventually soon, summertime, which to me is just a fiery season. So Brigitte is a fiery goddess who tirelessly protects those who call upon her, and she's a feminine counterpart to Archangel Michael's warrior energy. Brigitte's temple is in Kildare, Ireland. She's celebrated worldwide on February 1st, the ancient sacred day called Imbolc, which means the beginning of springtime and increasing daylight. And obviously, here in the Northern Hemisphere, that is the period of time seasonally that we're in right now. And just as I was reading that too, with all this fiery imagery and all this blue, okay, and this Queen of Swords with the sword on it, it's very reminiscent of Archangel Michael, okay? And there's a guided meditation that I listened to. I actually linked to it on the resources section of my website if that's something that you're interested in. It's a YouTube video by Stephen Nobel. But the imagery for Archangel Michael, okay, is this sword, okay, of this sword and which serves as a shield of protection, and it's in a flame of blue light, okay? So that imagery coming up in the goddess guidance is really reminding me of Archangel Michael, who again is the archangel of protection, okay? So you may want to incorporate both Brigitte and Archangel Michael's into any prayers or meditation that you have or are doing, okay? And look at that, Seven of Wands was at the bottom of the deck here, okay? And that energy is pervasive throughout the reading. Love it. Okay, so Leos, I'm gonna shut your reading down there. If you like this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so through my website. What was the other thing? You can also subscribe to my newsletter. It comes out about once a month now. I'm aiming to bump that up to 2 times a month if I can, sort of in alignment with these YouTube videos-ish. And I also have I co-host a podcast that recently launched. It's called the Self-Care Kickback. It's available on Apple, iTunes, right? SoundCloud, Spotify, and Anchor. So if any of those things appeal to you, definitely do peruse the description box for this video. All of the links are listed there. And again, if you like this video, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, Leos.